Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to my channel. My name is Mr. Macemaker and this is a new Paralives video. Today I'm taking part in a challenge proposed by Maithena on the official Discord of Paralives, building a room for Hannah, a toddler, following specific real-life measurements at a 1:1 scale and including a few pieces of furniture. I'd like to clarify a few things. First, I'm not a native English speaker and I will butcher grammar and pronunciation. Bear with me and sorry for that. The second thing is that the information about Hannah's age was only on the workshop page, not on Discord. So I made a few mood boards thinking it was a bedroom for a young adult woman. But hey, I looked up images on Pinterest and put together a color palette. I think there are great ideas there, so at least I want to show them. Here we can see the challenge on Discord and on Steam Workshop, available to download. I highly recommend participating. These community challenges have been really fun. Pause if you want to read the details, because I'm moving on to the mood boards. This was the first mood board which I won't be using. I called it Moody because I started with these paintings of women seen from behind, kind of contemplative and reflective, showing that they have an inner world beyond whatever is happening around them. They are going somewhere, thinking important thoughts. It's a contemplative pose in a life that's being fully lived. Then I found this painting of the flute player and I completely fell in love with the scene, the colors and the way it conveys art, freedom, something bohemian and cheerful. It adds a sense of happiness and lightness, a contrast between reflection and joyful action. This color palette I picked to go with it. I'd probably use yellow as the base color to make the room feel warmer, then add details in blue and orange. I'd most likely paint the column dark blue, maybe the baseboards too. It's very pretty, but it doesn't fit the challenge, so let's move on to the next mood board. This was the second one I came up with. I still hadn't read that Hannah's a toddler, but hey, cats are for all ages, right? Maybe I toned down some of the brighter colors here, although little kids tend to love intense colors and the bedroom is usually space for both playing and resting, so I think it is okay not to go too neutral here. The starting point was Henry Matisse's cat chasing fishes, lots of primary colors plus some pretty strong greens and oranges. I barely use it to generate the palette, honestly only the yellow, because the rest of the colors are a bit much. Instead, these kitties felt much better for creating an energetic, fun and unique atmosphere, one that Hannah won't want to change as soon as she gets to kindergarten, which tends to happen a lot with overly themed bedrooms. For these pictures, my favorite is the orange and cyan one, although the other two are beautiful too. I try to desaturate the palette a little bit and push it more towards pastel colors. I want to give this mood board a fair chance because I think that it will be great. Third one. This time I actually knew she was a toddler. It took me 3 attempts. The first thing that came to my mind was Cardcaptor Sakura, but I couldn't find any good pictures of the spirits that were actually interesting. I imagine things like the twins playing together or the flowers creating a garden, maybe the sleep running around with the dash, or the little and the big in the reading corner, but I couldn't find anything like that. So of course my next option was Sailor Moon. Now that I think about it, it's probably pretty similar to the whole Disney princess theme, which I honestly know nothing about these days, but I feel like something like that works across different ages, up to 10 years old maybe. I think it still makes a great bedroom theme. Of course I wanted something magical and very colorful, starting with Serena and taking inspiration from the pink curtains and the ceiling lamp, but balancing them with greens and blues, hence Sailor Jupiter and Sailor Neptune here, then bringing back other warm colors, hence Sailor Venus, so Serena's yellow hair wouldn't feel so out of place, so disconnected with the whole thing, and the room as a whole would read more like a soft rainbow. Let's see how it looks in the game. I made 4 proposals here. I've already placed the main colors on the walls and larger furniture pieces in all of them. We will be adding details together. In every room I started placing the bed. I think this one I'm showing is probably the best location for it, but I wanted to try something that wasn't completely intuitive, something a little bit different from what you normally expect. So all 4 proposals have the bed placed differently, facing different directions. Some uses of the space are better than others, but I'll let you be the judge on that. In this first cat-themed version, putting the bed in that corner leaves the perfect spot for a small bookcase that is easily accessible for a kid. I tried a cool color palette here, and well, it's definitely a choice. Choices have been made here. Yeah, I'm not sure. Purple and green combination does something weird to me. I don't hate it, but I don't fully approve of it either. It is certainly not very toddlerish to me, but I like that the wardrobe and the dresser aren't on the same wall, and that we can place a rug in the middle so she has room to play on the floor. I assume it's safe to put teddy bears above the radiator. Sorry, again, not from any country with those kind of radiators. If not, I'd probably add another shelf on this wall to break up the wallpaper a little. In every version I tried to paint this column as well. It's made with metal lockers, so it looks slightly darker because it is shinier, but it is actually the same color as the opposite wall. I also tried to add at least 2 extra light sources for a cozy effect. In this case, one near the reading corner and another one in the corner of the room. Some more childlike lamps because they are adorable. In this version I picked a comfortable armchair and a booth. I think it's quite sophisticated. In other versions I went with something more rustic and maybe a bit more budget friendly, but both are very beautiful to me. I can't decide. On one hand, I feel like the colors might be too much, especially purple, but I like how they make the cats stand out, and I think it has the potential to grow into a room that still works all the way into the preteen years without any problem. For the second cat-themed bedroom, I decided to place the bed in one of the least obvious spots here. I just wanted to see how it would work. I think the shelf behind it is great for storing toys and books and maybe even a lamp or a cup if she has been drinking something or she's having the breakfast at bed. The colors are warmer here, and by warmer I mean yellow-orange. But I think the touches of pink, reddish tones and greens add something nice to it. I like it. I think it can be one of the best for a little kid. So here the paintings are grouped close together and it feels more organized to me. And even though I usually don't like placing 2 larger pieces of furniture side by side, they definitely make the wallpaper easier to appreciate here. I also try to include this storage cube in every version for toys or clothes, things like that. It's CC, I downloaded from the workshop on Steam. Cottage Kits, I use a few pieces of that set. I also use the desk and the chair for an IKEA set. I should probably be showing on screen somewhere. Oh, and this mirror, Palermo, it's CC too. I love this collection too. But yeah, if you see some furniture that's interesting for you and you don't recognize it from base game, ask me in the comments and I will look up the CC creator for you. Here I want to try a checker rug instead of a floral or more abstract one, along with slightly more rustic everyday furniture, the desk, the stool, the chair. I know it's a toddler's room, but I love this little corner for the desk where eventually she could do puzzles or draw or do homework when she's older. I think I could have put the head of the bed, I won't say headboard, where the shelves are and move the shelves along the other wall. That would have been another interesting option, but maybe it's more comfortable not having the bed so close to the door. I don't know. What I do know is that this way it would probably be easier to pick up something that falls under the shelves. If it were arranged the other way around, that would be trickier. I put some blocks, some clothes, shoes, this figurine as a Barbie or some kind of doll. This time I used these birds separated, but I'm not sure here. I'm lacking plants, but it's a toddler room, so I don't think they really fit. Even though it seems to be prepared for a little older kid, I reckon. I don't know, she already has a backpack for the kindergarten even. Okay, let's move on to the third room, inspired by Sailor Moon and her friends. I wanted to combine this green with the pink that was already present in the curtains and the ceiling lamp, plus some yellow here. The result is, well, vibrant, spring-like, kind of tropical fruit. It smells like mango and kiwi, that's for sure. I like how neat the sailors look and how much color they add. Again, I like the dresser and the wardrobe being on different walls here. The bed's not blocking the access to the dresser drawers. I like that the reading and play corner is used more efficiently. It's a nice distribution. We could even add a small bedside table so she can keep things nearby while sleeping. I like that too. Okay, first iteration here. I love the paintings, I must admit it. This space looks inviting too. The rug is a choice for sure. Here's the bedside table I mentioned, salt lamp and a cup. In every version I also try to place tissues or napkins with reach because, well, toddlers. I tried to combine yellow and green on the Windows wall and more pink in the green and yellow one. I loved this doll, it's so Sailor Moon coded. I also loved finding this Japanese cat. It remembered me to the cat Apollo. I thought I was going to like this one less because of the colors, but maybe the white and the fact that everything stays more or less within the same palette saves it. We are using a rug similar to the one from before, just better matched to this color palette. I think a floor lamp would work better here for the reading nook. It's from the workshop, it looks really nice, and this chair is from another CC set, not the same of the desk, my bad. Fun fact, you can make this kind of lamp in a pretty affordable DIY way by stacking several paper lanterns shades together. I saw it in some decor channels in YouTube and it's quite good to try. So yeah, I tried to put a coat on the door, but it can't be resized. I added a few books and a plush. I really like these chicks. I love them with the chicken mom, but it was too far from the color scheme. Am I completely delusional if I say this one turned out pretty? I don't know. I like it. I can't really explain why. The last room is also inspired by Sailor Moon and her friends. Here I tried to combine something we already know it works really well, green and pink. I'll be the first to acknowledge that the bed is in the strangest location possible, but I don't know, maybe it works? Let me know in the comments. The paper wall might be a little too childish this time, but I think the abstract shapes could last for several years without becoming tiring or boring. Once again, I only painted the opposite wall, splitting it into pink sections and painting the column green teal to continue the color from that side and give it a bit more of sass, originality maybe, I don't know. It feels like a way to embrace the architectural feature instead of fighting against it. Since there's no space for a bedside table here, I added a shelf high enough that she won't bump into it, but still close enough to leave a cup, tissues, and a small lamp. This cat is floating. Again, a slightly more refined and comfortable furniture style, plus another checkered rug. It adds a bit of sophistication that I think could age quite well, aside from the somewhat childish shapes in the wall. I think even a teenager could feel pretty comfortable in a room like this. It can be something that evolves with her. At least it's not that a big change to make in a few years. I will be finishing it for even final touches. Well, there you have it. 4 rooms inspired by cats, Henry Matisse and Sailor Moon. Colored palettes with personality, maybe too many personalities, different furniture layouts, different ways to create a reading corner. Which one do you think worked the best? And which one feels the least toddlerish for you? My favorite is probably the second one, mostly because of the bed placement and because that the desk corner feels really practical. As for the colors, maybe the last one? I can't decide. But that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like and a nice comment, share the video with a friend, and subscribe for more content like this. I'll leave the Discord thread for the challenge in the description below for anyone who wants to participate, as well as the workshop link so you can download the room and try it yourself. It has been an honor and a privilege to have you here today. Special thanks to Nia for creating the challenge, and thank you for watching all the way to the end. I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye!